Okay, the day has come. I am going to fly out to go visit my little sister and see my mom, who I haven't seen in like 15 years. And if you're new here, my son, who would be 7, passed away almost 3 years ago. And I'm still kind of in my like getting used to the grief. But one thing that I did that I'm really grateful I did is I actually had him cremated, and long story short, we ended up also doing like a little burial plot. But what I ended up doing with his ashes is I put them into this little bear. So this little bear opens up like with a little zipper right here, and then his ashes are in there. And I also think I have like some of his hair, whatever. So I'm actually bringing my bear with me, Tadster, because I'm gonna go see my 2 little nephews. And I think that this is actually a really good way to, one, it's good for me because it feels like I'm still bringing Tad along with me, even though he's with me in spirit all the time. But when interacting with other family members, it actually is really beneficial for me, and I think other people, to have like a tangible reminder of Tad that, you know, even though he's not physically here, he is still with us, and he's not gonna cry, he's still my son. But it is hard to like find ways to move forward and honor that. So I'm actually really glad that I did this little bear, and so yeah, he's gonna come with me. So I got all my stuff packed and off we go. Well, it's Thursday morning. I made it into Arizona. I'm exhausted. I landed last night at like 10:30, and then I went over to my little sister's house and we just started talking, and I didn't even come back to my little place I'm staying at until like almost 2, or I think it was 2 a.m. and then I woke up at 6. So I'm tired. Even like my eyes are all swollen, and what the heck? But today's my little sister's birthday, so I'm gonna get ready and then I'm gonna walk over there, and today we're gonna go on some little adventure with her. But I'm super excited. And last night I didn't really have expectations for when I was gonna see my mom, like how it was gonna be, but it just like felt so normal, and we all just kind of like, we had a lot of therapeutic talks, but then we also just kind of just like, it just felt like normal. Like it was a good first interaction, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the trip goes, because now we're all in just such a different place in life where we're able to like have more of an understanding of like things that have happened, and you know, life's life, and sometimes it doesn't always go how we want it to or how we thought it was supposed to. But yeah, I'm about to go walk over and see my little sister and her family, but I had to share this. So yesterday I flew, and I've been kind of in the season where I'm trying to embrace the magic of life, and I realized that in order to really do that, I have to be able to like put myself out there and be around other people, because that's where the magic is people. You know, I say loved ones is who I really want to spend time with, but the truth is that nobody is really strangers. And I love that saying, because you meet people, and okay, these are the perfect examples. I got onto my Uber, and my Uber driver was like the nicest guy. We got to talking about like healthcare, and I was just telling him like, you know, you got to make sure that you take care of yourself, you know, so you don't get dependent on or get stuck depending on the medical field and stuff like that. And it was kind of cool. He grew up in the islands, and you know, I was saying, yeah, you got to go back to your roots of like how people used to do back then. He's like, yeah, like my grandma using the herbs and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like that's what our bodies want. And it was just like a really cool experience. And I was telling him like what I want to do when I grow up. I'm grown, but you know what I mean? And he, you know, was just really kind. And then I got on to my first flight yesterday, and I sat in the middle row, and there was a gentleman to the right of me, and you know, he said hello, and we were on like a 3-hour flight. I cannot even describe. We literally did not stop talking the entire time. I'm sure everybody around us was like, can you shut up, please? But I mean, we just like as soon as we started talking, it was just like da 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 da, and we started talking about like life and social media, and then we got to talking about like he's a biology major and I'm currently taking a biology class, and we were talking about that and healthcare because he's working in like pharmacy and stuff like that. And then we got to talking, and we were just talking about like the energy it takes to be resilient and such. And then I had shared about my son passing, and he then told me about his mom, who her daughter passed, so his sister. And it is just wild, because I felt like when my son died that I got like put into this like unknown world, like all by myself. And then as I've started to become more comfortable in my grief and start talking about it more, it has been wild to me to really understand and hear how many other children, like how many other parents have lost their children, but they don't talk about it. Because it's this really like, and even he said it, that he was like, I'll be honest, he was like, even with my mom, he was like, I didn't know how to handle it. And he was just saying that even like his other brother really didn't know how to handle it, and his brother was actually a doctor and was, you know, had more of like the medical standpoint of like, it happened, just get over it, like there's nothing we could do. And this guy said something that like really hit me, and he was like, you know, I told my mom, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to like help you, I don't understand what you're going through. But he stayed with her, and he just sat with her. And I looked at him and I said, I hope you know like how much that really meant to your mom, because that's all that people who are really struggling, they don't want you to come try to fix your problems. Like, you cannot fix that my child is dead. There is nothing to fix about it. But if you don't allow me the space to experience this experience, like I have talked about, or these emotions, then that is the most hurtful thing. And I don't think that people really understand that. So that conversation with that guy, just like, it lit me up. Like, I was like, thank you, universe, for like reassuring me this is what I'm welcoming into my life. Loved ones don't have to always be your family members. And I'm really excited to now really embrace meeting people and hearing different people's stories and how they've navigated life and how they support their loved ones, and honestly, how grief has affected different people. Because it is not grief is very well known. It's just not talked about very much. So having that experience with that gentleman yesterday on the plane was like the universe sending me the biggest like thumbs up, like you're on the right path, this is exactly where you're meant to be, like you're doing all the things you're supposed to do. And it just, honestly, I could feel my soul like came alive, like having that conversation. And all those hard moments of like packing up my place and stuff like that were like, it all just like went out the window, because I was like, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving away all of my material things so that I can make space to connect with people. And that was a perfect conversation. I just had to share because it like made my day.
So my little sister lives in Arizona, and we traveled a little bit north of her to go see, I don't remember the name, but it was some church. And it was so crazy. I am a lot more spiritual now, so we looked into like the history of Sedona, and I didn't even know, but they consider it one of the like chakras of the world, and something about like ley lines and stuff. Like, it's a very energetic place, and it's crazy. But the little church we went to was like known for its feminine healing, which is wild because I've been like no contact with my mom for the last 16 years, and this was the first time that we have seen each other in a while. And it was one of the most therapeutic reunions, and I want to say it's so funny, but I'm starting to really like, coincidences, you know? I think that this was meant to be, but it was such a healing experience to be able to revisit my mom in a different aspect and to kind of like have a different understanding of life. And, you know, the truth is it's all of our first time here on earth trying to do this. And it's not that I'm saying that what happened wasn't wrong or not okay. I guess the best way to say it is that I had forgiven my mom a long time ago for everything that happened, and I finally found peace within myself, and I was just kind of indifferent about it. But I'm really glad that we were able to reconnect in person and have some of the conversations that we had, because it gave me so much more clarity on who I am, honestly. But in the same sense, it also really taught me how important boundaries are. And while I know that it broke my heart to not have my mom and so many really hard things in life, it also broke my mom's heart to not be there. But I also now see that we all have life paths, and, you know, I want my mom to be happy, and she has to do what she feels like her soul calls her to do. And, you know, it would be selfish of me to not validate that this is her life too, and she gets to choose how to live it. But in the same hand, I'm really proud of myself for going no contact, because that's what has allowed me to become the woman that I am today. And now I'm in a different place where I can welcome different people back into my life, but know when it's not good for me. And honestly, this has been one of the hardest lessons, to really know the importance of boundary and how to stand on them, because I always saw that if I loved somebody, I had to be there for them no matter what. But now I realize that people who love you won't make you stay no matter what. And my mom did let me go. And I really love that quote about the butterfly. Like, when you love something, you let it go, and if it's meant to come back, it'll come back. And I don't think that's just for romantic relationships. I think that's with everybody in our life. It's Friday. I don't even know where the days have went. I got here Wednesday late at like 10, and then yesterday, you saw on my videos, I went to Sedona, and that is insane. Like, I have always loved going to see nature, but there's just something about seeing nature be so big, and it makes you feel so little, in, like, I don't know, just really like puts in proportion like how tiny we really are, how tiny our problems really are. I mean, just the structures, and to think that Mother Nature made all that is just so wild. Like, I still feel so like, I can't believe that we saw all that. And then we came back and we hung out for a little bit, and I feel like I'm like functioning off of like no sleep. Today's Friday. I woke up, got ready, I had class, and then I sat down and did some stuff on my computer, editing. And now today's my little sister's, yesterday was her birthday, today's her little birthday party that we're gonna do. So I'm about to go walk over and spend the rest of the day with them, and then I fly out tomorrow early morning, and the trip is already done, which like came and went so fast. I knew it was going to, but I'm not gonna lie, there was a part of me that was like, this is just not ideal to be going on like a little trip right before I'm moving, but this was exactly what I needed, because it like solidified everything that I'm trying to accomplish right now. Is that I want to give up all of my materialistic things so that I can be free to embrace life and love and the people that I have in my life. And my soul feels very happy right now. I feel a little tired, I feel a little worn out, but my soul feels really happy, and I feel a lot more like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like this was what I needed to be like, you're doing the right thing by doing something so crazy, by like selling all my stuff and living on the road for a little bit, and then booking a trip to India with no return flight. Like, I just feel like I'm figuring it out on the way, and I don't feel like I need to have answers, and that's something that's so different from what I've always really done. So it feels uncomfortable, and I can feel my nervous system is definitely like struggling to adjust to everything. But because I have really dedicated the time over the last 3 years to like taking care of myself, I feel empowered enough to know that no matter like how unregulated I get, I have the tools to help myself. And I also have now the inner like self-love to know when enough is enough and when I need to step away to take care of myself. So I'm feeling like this was exactly what I needed. I'm in the right place at the the exact same time. Like, everything is meant to be. And yeah, it's so crazy. So wild.
Out towards the aisle. Go ahead, turn the back on to its side. Make sure the overhead bin is closed before you take the seat.